This is the vegan anarchist. Right now, I'm waiting from NeoCon to my eventual bread pilling as an anarchist or an anarchist. So I'm just waiting for people. So on the sideline, I'm gonna talk about some crap. The whole discrimination against the LGBTQ community is. I talked about last time about why we need to organize some sit-ins and stuff like that. And people who didn't even watch the videos probably, let's say, probably ones who thumbed it down, which is hilarious because trans people have to stop being so fragile. Meanwhile, cishet people will see a video title "cishet not allowed." No cishet's allowed, and they get like really bent out of shape over that. It's hilarious. Cis people are a little hilarious sometimes. Anyways, is there anyone? No, there's no one here. But seriously though, this video, in case anybody hears noises, I'm living with someone and they're making pasta right now. So, anyways, how did I start my political career? Well, or start being political. I'm gonna wait first. I'm gonna talk more crap until I get some people to listen. Because so far I have no one in here, and that's a problem. But honestly, I'm gonna make another video eventually called why the government can't give you freedom, or the case against revolutionary government quote or revolutionary quotes, because this state is never revolutionary. I was reading a Crime Think article, which I'm gonna get attacked for being a lifestyle because I read crime because I happen to like Crime Think, but okay. The ex workers podcasts are pretty lit. Seriously, why isn't there anybody here? Okay, this is getting boring. But I'm gonna start in sixth grade. I supported John McCain, even though I didn't know anything about politics. Like there was listening to Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity and Glenn Beck and all those hacks. And that's how it basically started. I mean, well, I kind of started off apolitical, and then I wanted to ban guns a little because I heard something about my teacher, and then I reversed that position really fast after being to conservatism. But I'm gonna get more into that when I get people to listen, because it's gonna be a while for someone to get in here and listen to me. So I'll probably leave a line mark to see when my first person watch come from. But come on, where's my? Oh, cool, someone's here. Okay, now I can start. All right. So I started off. I when I was little, I was this political kid who thought that John McCain was awesome, and oh, no one's here. I thought that, but I'm gonna think anyways. I didn't say I think. I said I thought. But anyways, I was. I don't know what got me into politics the first time. I think it was because I don't know what got me into it. I don't know. But for a few years, I was basically a neocon who hated gay people, despite the fact that now I'm in the LGBTQ community. Weird how that works. And oh man, a lot of times I just make I have positions. I even listen to counter arguments. I just hear whatever is in right wing hate radio and just take that as a position. So I was pro-life, which is bullshit. Or I shouldn't say out loud because there's people here. BS. I had all sorts of positions like, oh, the poor people, and those poor chums. I used to thought, he actually was in favor of regressive taxation, which is really horrible. Like my politics back in those days were horrible. Like I'm so glad I did not become like a fash, because I could have been, if I stayed the same course, I would have been a Trumpist by now. That's saying something, and maybe alt right, but luckily I didn't. So I don't know what this is for, but okay. So, but whatever the case that got me into politics, I was really interested. I was a Tea Party supporter. Yes, Tea Party. I was pro Tea Party, and I even wanted to march in street and do all the Tea Party stuff on tax day or whatever it was at the time. I can't remember exactly because I was and I thought taxes were bad and we need to deregulate and the environment. Anybody who cares about the environment is whack. I thought, which is pretty interesting since I'm a green anarchist by now. And so what basically happened was I was basically this kid who was how really like if let's say if you meet someone with that politics, someone with that politics would be listening to someone like Lauren Southern or Ben Shapiro or something. Except I probably would have been worse because there were a few times I almost went Nazi-esque on the whole gay issue, which is not an issue. It's a homophobic issue. But I used to thought Mike Huckabee was fly, so I continued on this path, and then eventually I discovered this vulgar libertarian on Fox News because Fox News I was obsessed with. I used to listen to Bill O'Reilly, that effing ew guy. Those who don't know what he did, you should probably better off not knowing. A lot of people on Fox News are pretty wretched creatures. But I discovered this guy named John Stossel. And that vulgar libertarian maybe turned from a NeoCon to basically, what do you call it, a vulgar libertarian-ish, so-called conservatarian. And I was so my position on drugs changed radically. So now I was pro legalizing pot, and and I used to want to smoke weed every day, and used to want to be a so-called gangster because, man, that was embarrassing. But anyways, as I listen more and more John Stossel, the transition was slow and rough because I didn't leave the conservative for a while. And even then, like even while I was a libertarian, I still have conservative leanings. And so the next election was around, I was supporting Ron Paul, even though I was barely in ninth grade. That's weird how that works. And my teacher at the time asked me, why do people support Ron Paul? And I said, liberty. And he wanted me to give specifics, but I so was not knowing anything at the time. It was so embarrassing that I literally gave like the most like cliche answer you could get, or pretty much, well, actually, it's even worse than cliche. But I was firm on like the whole weed legalization. I used to thought, non-aggression principle. And then, of course, Ron Paul lost. and I discovered some guy named Stefan Molyneux on the internet. Glad I didn't fall for. I glad I didn't join that cult, but and I support Mitt Romney hypocritically. But then when I was in Stefan Molyneux, I became an ANCAP and started like drawing, telling people like going around calling myself an anarchist and telling people like and painting my books yellow and black for the ANCAP colors and pretty much non-aggression principle. And then of course I had a I had a dispute with my mom and dad and basically I was it was I much as I remember I was yelling and screaming and they want him to they didn't want me to have him out loud with Stefan's curse words and I refused and then I had a meltdown and so one of my parents spanked me. Of course spanking is don't tell anybody I'll tell anybody don't spank your children. But honestly though at that spanking set maybe so I didn't honestly though as much as that spanking was abuse well spanking is I consider abuse, I'm thankful that I didn't effing join didn't fall down that Stefan Molyneux pit hole because I would have been horrible. So I just went vanilla libertarian-ish, a few years. I was hating on Obama, like I hated his guts. And then I found Alex Jones and listened to Alex Jones and RT. Oh boy. And that was like the the 11th grade. Well, by the end of by till almost 11th grade, I was really into like conspiracy theories, Bilderberg, Illuminati. And Alex Jones at the time was a completely different person. Well, not completely, but he was a different person because he wasn't the guy type of he was the guy who is not afraid to talk about cops power tripping, and he called himself a libertarian. And then I got so super paranoid. And of course, I hated the government. But then my eyes were woken up by likes of Abby Martin, who was in a time on RT on the channel called Breaking the Set, and Lee Camp, as well as my liberal AP student who helped me broke off of this conspiracy bubble I was in. I came to realize that the very system I cherish, just like this government, often violated freedom. So I then became in limbo mode for a while until the summer. I was in limbo because my politics was completely inconsistent. And that was until I started listening to like the left libertarian LSR, who I made this video because inspired by him. Anarcho Pack, the left libertarian. I think I already said his name, or I don't know her. I don't know, something like that. And of course, at first, I didn't want to take the bread pill, but slowly after thinking about it, and it was slow for me to take it over the course of the summer. And I often hid my phone so my dad wouldn't see what I was watching, or my parents watching LSR. And I was so enamored at LSR, and I literally thought it was. I literally thought this is what I wanted. But the one thing that held me back was I don't want to repeat the whole Soviet Union model. And if I and wish you had someone try to push me into Marxism, I would have rejected it. But because LSR made a video about the red bureaucracy, that made me more and more. What can I say? leaning to anarchism until eventually I became one. And of course, I was also into the whole wanting to be in the whole MGTOW movement and dabbling around MGTOW and watching Sandman and dabbling in with P-Wave stuff. I don't know. I was an anti-feminist, and then of course, LSR made videos on feminism, which changed my mind. And then I started watching a YouTuber who later betrayed a feminist. I can't remember what her name is. She's now an anti-feminist. Lacey Green. She opened my mind up more at the time, which is why I was upset when she left the feminist sphere because she was an influence on my early feminist development. And I was mad at the whole Gamergate thing, and I literally thought women are out there screwing me out of their money. Coincidentally, though, the same year I became an anarchist, I also became vegan. And also at year 2014, at the end of 2014, I discovered that I wasn't a cis dude, that I was non-binary, but I kept that under the cover because I thought it was maybe is BS. That a lot of doubt on it. Until like a year or two ago, I was in the closet, but eventually, after like meeting people like Bobby, and of course, I had spats with was with Black Cat and this guy who now called himself Nero of Rome, or I don't know if he still does. We talked, and then it broke up, and yeah, it was horrible. And then I ended up in Operation Anarchism, which was horrible. And then I ended up in the whole Revolution Intersectional uh, Collective. And I had falling out with the people like last year and also some of this year. So, but even as an anarchist, like my journey didn't stop. I mean, I became less essentialistic and more constructivist. I at first I was a manarchist, but then I gradually embraced anarcho-feminism over time. I was interested in mutualism, and I didn't know what kind of anarchist I was. But then I found C4SS, and then of course I almost became a market anarchist, but after reading an article about market abolitionists, I decided to go full ANCOM. And after all this time, like my politics is, I mean, every day I learn new stuff. I mean, I'm not the most well-read anarchist, although people tell me that I'm smart and know a lot. I just happen to have been around other people who are anarchists who are pretty brilliant, bright, and other stuff like that. Like, even though I fell out with Piper, who went by the name Red and Black Revolutionary, and now it has a new name. And even though I fell out with her, I learned some stuff from her, even though I blocked her. Bobby Havens, who keeps changing his channel, but we still chill. I'm still chill with Bobby Havens, and so I consider egoism for a while. My politics. I but I'm glad that I got bread pilled away from the whole NeoCon thing. Because I'm so glad I did not become an Alex Jones alt-right fascist or a Ben Shapiro effer. And ultimately, embracing the bread pill was the best political insight I've ever had, bar none. And now I'm here to put in some work to to make sure that anarchism I find from bread pill. Yep. And now, after being in NeoCon and right libertarian, and then a Stefan Molyneux sycophant, and then Ron Paul sycophant, who now ANCOM, and also used to be an Alex Jones head, a conspiracy monger. I'm kind of dedicating a huge part of my life to anarchism, and I'm trying to put in work to basically because if you don't put in work as anarchists, we're not going to get the society we want, obviously. And it's been a reflecting back on this the whole change. I can tell people this: if a 10-year-old guy who calls himself a conservative might be in his 20s or 30s, a liberal or a socialist or a fascist, just because you start off politically as one thing doesn't mean you be that same thing as you grew up, for better or for worse. And my advice reflecting on my journey is be patient. Um, you're not going to convince someone anarchism right away, but if you know what their values are, you can kind of work on them on through that. Like my values are liberty. You, I mean, there's a lot of things you can slowly do, and you can plant seeds. You know, like like with me with Anne. Honestly, I am glad. I am 100% glad to be an anarchist, and until this end, I pledge myself to Mother Anarchy because she loves her sons and daughters and non-binary children. This is the vegan anarchist. No meat, no milk, no master. Got put in work for that Mother Anarchy, man. You got put in some work. Yo, better watch it, man, because the state will want to bust our wigs. When they try, we got bust their wigs first in self-defense because the state and capital can be brutal, and you gotta hustle and you gotta put in a ton of work. And I have respect for people like Emma Goldman, and even people who are political prisoners. I salute my political prisoners and anyone who's even was one. And that end, thank you very much for watching or will watch. See ya. Adios.